What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Great Lakes Brewing Company, and they are out of Cleveland, Ohio, and this is their Conway's Irish Stout. So this is an Irish Dry Stout that comes in at 4.8% alcohol by volume, 40 IBUs at the time of review. I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a best by date of May 10th of 2025, and we're just over 2 months away from that date. So according to Great Lakes, we should be more than good to go. So don't confuse this one with their Conway's Irish Ale, which is an Irish Red Ale. I've already reviewed that on the channel because this is actually a new release from Great Lakes, and they wanted to release an Irish Dry Stout, and they did so. On the side of the can here, it says, "May the pint rise to meet you. Give a hearty sláinte." And with this rich and roasty dry Irish stout, named for our founder's grandfather and steeped in tradition. So I had no idea that Conway was the name of their grandfather, but it makes sense. So now they have the Conway's Irish Ale, and then this one, and I think it makes perfect sense. And with St. Patrick's Day, aka St. Patty's Day, coming up on Monday, I thought for a shelfie beer review in the month of March 2025, we would review this one leading up to it. So anyway, we're going to pour it into the hashtag proper glassware and see what we got going on here. So definitely has that Irish Dry Stout kind of look. In the glass, it's going to look black, but as it pours, it looks like a dark brown, kind of similar to like a Guinness and whatnot. You know, that's kind of what they're going for. Although this does not have nitro, obviously, but that's what they're kind of going for. And I love the can, you know, with the Irish flag colors and everything. I think it's pretty sweet. So in the glass, how does this one look? Absolutely fantastic. Look at that beer. Again, on camera, it's probably going to look more like black and a dark brown. We'll get the light out, but let me get my face out of the way so you guys can see a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see through the bottom here. I guess not, but this definitely has more of like that cola look to it, right? So it has like some ruby red kind of hints at the bottom, but as a whole looks awesome. And then you got the hashtag proper glassware, of course, and with the proper glassware, that's how the beer looks. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it has a I'd say 2 fingers of the straight on, I'd say khaki colored, maybe just straight up tan colored head, very creamy looking. I don't think you can really see, but yeah, you can see how the lacing's already starting to form. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Let's get a nose. Exactly what you expect. To me, it has a nice roasted malt quality, anyway, in my opinion, like a drying kind of like baker's chocolate or like a cocoa powder. Definitely has a chocolate vibe, some nice medium roasted coffee, touch of caramel, hint of earthiness, maybe a little bit of dried fruit, but for the most part, it's all about the malt character that produces roasted malt, a little bit of chocolate and coffee and caramel. That's what this is. Smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers. Sláinte? Yeah, sláinte. Sláinte? Yeah, I think I might be mispronouncing that, but it is what it is. Sláinte. Yeah, I mean, to me, whenever I have like one of the authentic, you know, Irish dry stouts, your Guinnesses, Murphy's, Sullivan's, and I'll be reviewing, spoilers, in a couple days, O'Hara's. They all have very similar tastes. Some are better, slightly better than others. Some are slightly worse. Most of those are nitro, but they all have a very similar and familiar feel. When you taste it, it just has like a familiar kind of tasting note. Buying this is lower side of medium, 4.8%. Yeah, I expect that. The mouthfeel, it's not nitro, so it's not super duper smooth and creamy, but this has like a mild to moderate carbonation, has a nice smoothness, a little bit of creaminess, so it's nice for something that's not nitroed in this style. But I think at the end of the day, a nitro version of this would actually be very, very welcoming because it'd be familiar to my palate and many others. The nose carried over to taste. It's roasted malt, big roasted malt at the forefront, followed by a drying cocoa powder, medium roasted coffee, caramel, maybe even a little bit of like a toffee, a slight like dark dried fruit. That's the first 2/3 of the palate. And then the last third, there's a nice earthiness that roasted malt kind of dives underneath the palate, hits me again on the back of the palate. It's like a drying roasted malt. This is super dry. Obviously, this is a Irish Dry Stout, so that makes sense. Very dry. It has a mild to moderate bitterness, so a little bit of bittering component, not overly sweet, good balance. Just a well-done beer, I think, by Great Lakes, which is kind of what they're known for. You know, nowadays with everybody pretty much having their local, uber local craft brewery, or maybe even a regional craft brewery that they love and think they make great beer. I love these old school regional and even national breweries like this. I'm reviewing this one for a shelfie beer in the month of March 2025. And to me, Great Lakes is the definition of a shelfie. I can go to a grocery store, pick them up, pretty much any grocery store. And sometimes even some places have gas stations, they'll have like their Emmett Fitzgerald and whatnot. But that doesn't mean they lack on the quality of their products. Their products are still really good, just as good as I remember them. And this is another foray into a style they haven't done, at least on a big regional scale, and canning it and getting it out to their distro markets, that they've done a great job with. Like, they've done a great job with this beer. Is it mind-blowing, the best in the style? No. But for an American brewery brewing an Irish Dry Stout and doing it exceptionally well, not nitroed, I think kudos to them. I have absolutely no problems drinking the rest of this. It's going to go down 10-15 minutes after I'm done with this. It's going to go down because this is super sessionable. If you want to grab a 6-pack or a 12-pack of this for St. Paddy's Day, do so, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, it's not setting a new standard, but it's just a quality beer for the style, and that's what Great Lakes does. Their beers are all quality, and you can tell. You can just tell this was brewed with love and brewed quite well. So Conway's Irish Stout, 4.8%. You can't really tell, and you shouldn't, sub 5%. But Conway's Irish Stout from Great Lakes, I'm not going to give this a crazy high score because this is not a style that I like gravitate towards outside of this time of year. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like some Guinness. I think Murphy's is damn delicious as well. Actually, all the aforementioned ones are pretty damn good. Beamish is another one, but they're, for American Brewery to brew a take on the style that's non-nitroed and still do a good job, like, kudos to them. And I think this is a good beer. So anyway, I'm going to give this a high 4 out of 5, go 4.1. I think that's a damn fine score. It's a tasty beer. It's highly enjoyable, and I'm running out of things to say. Just good. It's just a good beer within the style. What else? What else do you need, right? Just a good beer in the style. Anyway, price point availability. Here in the Buffalo, New York area, $11.99 a 6-pack, so $2 a can, all day, every day. 4.8%. Well brewed, to style, something you can enjoy this time of year. Yeah, I think it's fine. And availability, it's Great Lakes. It's I think they're late winter seasonal. Obviously, they brew this one for St. Patrick's Day, but I think they released this one in January because I've seen this on the shelves now for like the last month-ish. So probably January, February release. But it's definitely one that I'd recommend picking up if you like the style and you like Great Lakes beers. You can't go wrong with this one. Again, it's not setting a new standard. This is not something you're going to drink and be like, oh, I've never tasted that before. You've tasted this before. Many other Irish Dry Stouts. And but again, kudos to them. No off flavors. Very well done. Super quaffable. And it is definitely dry. And it definitely is a moreish beer. You want to drink more of it. At least I do. So again, kudos to Great Lakes for this one. If you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I do think I prefer this over their Conway's Irish Ale, but being honest with you, I'd rather have an Irish Dry Stout over an Irish Red Ale, but that's a personal preference. So anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Monday, like I said, is going to be St. Patrick's Day. I'm doing a special review there, and hopefully that beer is just as good as this one. To the next one. Cheers. Sláinte.